Hey there lovelies, it's Sarah Leonard here from auraangelart.etsy.com, and this is the last of my Chakra Angel series in my art journal, and I'm finishing with the Crown Chakra Angel. And I decided to do a 2-page spread just to finish off the series quite nicely so I can start fresh with my next experimentations. So this Crown Chakra Angel, I really like some parts of her. I really like the double page spread and the flowing hair, the extra ability to have more collage going on in the background. There's certain things about it that I'm not totally happy with, so I used a slightly darker pen than I would normally use, my Pitt pens, and that required a little bit of sort of fixing here and there on the face. I'm not totally happy with that, but overall from a design point of view I'm happy. So I think I will use some of the techniques I've learned when I come to make canvas versions of these ladies. So if you want to flip through, you can see that some of these have gotten a little bit damaged as I carry on to the next page. They sort of get a little bit damaged along the way, but I don't so much mind that. I have a photograph, I have a record of all of them anyway. So I've been through all of the different chakras, starting at the root, sacral, the solar plexus. I really like her. Heart chakra, she has a lovely thoughtful expression. The throat chakra again came out really nicely. The third eye chakra, I'm not completely pleased with the shape of her face, but there's the parts of her that I do really like. And then our crown chakra lady. So I'll just give you a little lowdown on what I used to create this particular journal spread, and then hopefully you'll be able to have a go at creating something for yourself. So for my very first layer, I decided to go straight in with lots of collage papers, and then I did my kind of ink splatter that I've been doing. I didn't have any pale purple inks to go with the crown chakra, so I mixed some of this red violet with some golden fluid acrylic titanium white, and you'll see me kind of watering that down and using that to create this kind of splatter in the background. And I used my water spray bottle as well, just to kind of move it around and get some interesting textures going. I also used 2 different types of pale purple acrylic paint. I've got a pearl wisteria, which is a metallic purple, and I've also got iris. Both of those are Ducraft Artiste acrylic paints. After I'd done the background with those, I used my usual Stabilo woody pencils that I like to use for sketching, just because it's so big it forces you to be a bit freer. And then I used all of my favourite things for shading. So I used my Prismacolor pencils, they were the last layer of shading. I used my Pitt pens, and this is the one where I ended up with the darker pen. I don't usually use this really dark one. So I'm not 100% happy with that, but I think I managed to fix it fairly well. I also used my Neo art bars to do some shading. For the hair, I used 2 different types of acrylic paints, the ones I've most often used in this series. So Buttermilk of the Ducraft acrylic paints and Golden Iridescent Bright Gold Fine. They were the ones I used in the hair. And I also used my Neocolor 2 crayons for the first layer of the hair and of her dress. I used my usual portrait pink to blend some of the shading, and the gelato I used for her aura, her energy, is one called Fig. So I thought that was a really nice colour for the crown chakra. And I used my set of pocket chakra stencils made by Artist Seller to create the crown chakra. I've not been 100% pleased with the way the chakra symbols are standing out. I think for the canvas versions I might try to get hold of some die cut ones just to make them really stand out. I also used some of these Jane Davenport sparkly pens. I don't know what they're called, it doesn't say on the actual pen itself. And I used my Jane Davenport paint over pen in Unicorn, which is white, for the highlights. I used my Uniball eye pen for the fine details and the very last little bit of shading. And I also used a little bit of my Stabilo All pencil to reaffirm the shading, particularly after I'd used the gelatos. And I think that's everything that I used on the spread. Very, very similar techniques and materials deliberately, so that the series kind of works as a whole. So I'm really quite pleased with how these girls have turned out, and in a little while, probably not straight away, I'll let it sort of percolate in my brain for a while, but in a little while I'll start thinking about creating some canvas versions of these, which will be available for sale in my shop. So I hope you enjoy watching this crown chakra angel coming to life. And if you would like to check out my art, I'll leave a link in the description box so that you can go straight to my Etsy store. Okay, thanks ever so much for watching. Bye bye.